Alright, hey guys, my wife and I have been making kefir or water kefir for quite a while now, and we got it down to a science actually. But if you've never made water kefir before, you can order it online. This is what it looks like. Let me just zoom in here. They're little translucent little grains. It's not really a grain, they're just clusters, I guess. And I think it's bacteria obviously, but a yeast and bacteria. So what you do is, what we do is to put them in these jars with water and sugar. They ferment for 2 days, and then after that you can drink them or put it in these bottles here for an extra day on the counter, and it gets very carbonated, very effervescent, like a soda. And it's really delicious, and it's wonderful probiotic for your gut. We're going to show you how to make it. So when you order this stuff online, it's going to come in a little packet, and you're going to get roughly 3 to 4 tablespoons per a little packet that you get. We'd suggest getting at least 4 of these packets online, and that'll get you started. And what happens is, as you're making this, as time goes on, I mean, we're talking within a week or two, these things start doubling in size. They grow. We started with 4 packets, and now, as you can see, each jar is about 2 cups of water kefir grains. Okay, so we'll show you how to make it now. Now, obviously, we had quite a bit of water kefir here. The minimum is 1 tablespoon of water kefir to 1 cup of water, and 1 tablespoon of sugar per 1 cup of water also. That's minimum. Since we got quite a bit here, and we're going to make actually 6, what is it, 6? We're going to about 6.5. We're going to fill it up to the very top here, the max. So, what we want to do is put our water in. Now, you want to use filtered water. Do not use tap water. Tap water has chlorine in it, and it's going to kill the bacteria, basically. So, what we want to do is put your water in. So, filtered water, if you want to use spring water, that's even better. We're using filtered water. So we'll just put it there for now. Now we want to use, what we like to use is organic white sugar and organic brown sugar. If you don't have it, I guess it's alright, but try to use organic sugar. You keep the little guys in there organic. So, there's 1. Now we're doing 5 of these. 3, 4, 5 of the white and 3 of the brown sugar, because we have so much down here, so much water kefir, and those little guys get hungry. But just to start, that'll be good, I guess. But like I said, bare minimum, the water kefir, it's 1 tablespoon of water kefir, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and 1 cup of water. That's the ratio, minimum. So after that, you want to also get some organic molasses. And we're going to use about a half a tablespoon. That's what I've been using. It works pretty good. The molasses has more minerals and stuff in it. Alright. And then what you want to do, after you do all that, fact, you know what? We're going to put just a little bit more water in here. There we go. Get yourself something that's not metal, of course, something plastic, and then you want to stir them up. Give them a little ride. And you want the sugar to dissolve. Now, if you wanted to, you can dissolve the sugar ahead of time in some warm water and dissolve it all, and then put room temperature water, then put your kefir in. Otherwise, you'll kill the kefir, of course, with the warm water. But so after that's all stirred up, now you might want to stir it a little more because the sugar granules are pretty big and it'll take a little time to dissolve. But after that's dissolved and you've stirred it for a while, what you're going to want to do is get yourself a paper napkin like this, or a paper towel, cut it, put it over your jar like that, keep the little bugs out of there. Just put the lid on there so they get air and the bugs can't get in. Put this on your countertop or in your pantry or whatever at room temperature for 2 days. And after 2 days, these little guys in here, the bacteria and the yeast, eat up all that sugar. And they'll change the flavor and everything. It comes out really nice. After 2 days, you can open it and drink it. Or you can put it in these bottles here and it'll start to ferment and produce gas. And it'll be carbonated, basically. So we're going to show you how to do that now. Okay, these here I've been fermenting for 2 days now. Okay, so now what you want to do, you need to get yourself one of these kitchen filters, screens, mesh screens. The bacteria, they say, from what I've read, don't use a metal screen. I guess stainless steel would be okay, but I'd rather not use it. For some reason, steel kills the bacteria. So use a plastic mesh like this and get yourself a little funnel to catch the water kefirs. So anyways, you want to pour it in. I don't know if you can see that water, the kefir coming up there, but right about the bend, stop right about there, about right here. And let me finish filling this other one here. Try to get as much as you can out of there. That's about good. And then put the little guys back in there. Alrighty. And always use a plastic spoon or whatever to get the remaining out. You're going to see this stuff floating around in there. This dark stuff. That, from what I think that is the molasses. But anyways, get the little guys back down in there. So now what you're going to do is we're going to get some. We're going to flavor it. So like I said, fill your bottles up to about right there, right where it starts to bend. And these bottles you can pick up on eBay. They're called Easy Cap beer bottles. And you want these type of bottles. We use some cheaper bottles that we bought at some local store. And they couldn't take the pressure. And at 3, 4 in the morning we were sleeping and this bottle blows up. and I thought somebody shot our window out. But anyways, use a good quality bottle like these here. So get yourself some organic grape juice. They seem to love grape juice. So what you're going to want to do is fill the rest of it right there, right where that bend is there. That's good. And you're going to want to set these out on your counter or anywhere really where it's room temperature and let them ferment in here. Close the top on it. Just do a little mix and put this on your countertop for a day. Now I want to show you one that we've done already. Actually, this one opened up earlier. Now that's what I'm talking about. It's like a soda, almost looks like a dark beer, but it's not. I think the alcohol content on this water kefir is less than 1%. But it's delicious, it's carbonated, and there's tons of probiotic in there to help your gut and your immune system. So that's basically it. And like I said, these kefirs keep growing and growing and growing. So we got quite a bit now. We're going to have a little get together next week with some friends, and we're going to start giving some of this away. So yeah, it's a great thing to keep you healthy, and when it gets to be too much, you just give it away. Another thing I need to show you, it's very, very important, is you need to burp these things, okay? After you put them in the bottle, and they've been fermenting for a day, and you're ready to drink it, it'll be nice and carbonated. What you want, this one I already opened, so it might not do nothing. What you want to do is just burp them a little bit, okay? Before you put them in the fridge. So what you're going to do is put these on the counter for one day. After a day, they'll be nice and carbonated, and open the caps. There'll be some pressure in there. Some might have too much pressure in there. It'll start coming out like champagne. So be careful when you open it, and have a glass ready, because if it does pop out like that, it's going to start spilling out. So get your glass and immediately start pouring it in there. Another thing is, if obviously you're going to have a lot of extra bottles, so the ones you don't drink that after one day, what you're going to do is just burp it. Okay, just open it up enough to let some pressure out, and you'll see the foam start coming up. And once the foam gets up to here, lock it down. You release some pressure out of it. After that, put them in the fridge. And when you put them in the fridge, they'll stop fermenting, pretty much. The fermenting will slow down. So they'll be safe in the fridge. But you got to make sure you burp them before you put them in the fridge. Another thing we noticed, if you have a bottle that's not quite full, and there's a lot of space in there, it'll build a lot of pressure. Okay, because you got more volume in here, and the pressure will build up more. But what you can do is, or what we've noticed is, if you fill them up to about right there, just leave a little air gap in there. It won't be as bad when you open it. We have some smaller beer bottles that we use occasionally for when we have a small amount. We can't fill these bottles up. This is a 1 liter. This is a half liter. We had about that much in there, and we opened it up after a day, and this thing almost blew right off. In fact, one did blow right off. A lot of pressure. So fill them up, up to here, and then grape juice, about halfway up the neck. Just leave a little air gap in there, and you'll be all right. But important, very, very important, burp them before you put them in the fridge, and they'll be fine. Okay? So we had a bad experience. One blew up on us. Not these bottles. Do not buy these bottles here. You see them at certain stores, whatever. These might be great for anything that's not carbonated, all right? Wine or whatever. But we had a bad experience. We were using these. We had 2 of them. Like I said earlier in the video, about 3, 4 in the morning, this blows up. Okay, and here's the proof right here. It blew up. It went all over the kitchen, the living room, and I thought somebody shot our window out. So I come out with my gun, and then I noticed glass all over the floor. I heard water going down on the kitchen floor, and it was the kefir going all over the place. But don't use these bottles. They're fairly thin, where these are very thick. And these will take the pressure. But again, don't use these bottles if you see them, alright? Alright guys, thanks for watching. Here's to your health.